Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with Matt, Adam, Brian, Doug, and Freddie, where they discuss everything that matters in today's fire service. Now let's get to the show.
So don't maximize your screen.
Yeah, so when you kind of minimize it a little bit, like half the screen, it gives you like the 9/16 frame. Do you see it?
No.
No?
Technology at its best. We're figuring it out, people, by the seat of our pants. Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast. I think we're episode 120. Isn't this 120?
Sure. Season 18, guys. Let's go.
Season number 9, episode 14 of the season, but total 120, right? I don't know about you, but I'm dragging. So for those who don't know,
what have you been up to?
I was in Biloxi, Mississippi at the National Association of State Fire Marshals for one of my conferences. And so when I tell folks, I think we mentioned it on last week's show, I was leaving from Raleigh and then headed to Biloxi. And so I was up very early this morning, like alarm went off at 3:00 to get on an early flight. I had a little bit of a layover, but then got home and then immediately had to try to continue to play catch up on stuff because at the end of the day, even with these trips and these conferences, still a deputy chief, still got to get stuff done. So trying to stay caught up on stuff, but all a good time. I am looking forward to this weekend. I've got a busy schedule, but I just need to catch my breath. It has been very, very busy time, but the Great Griddle Off is happening, so no rest for the weary. I've got to come up with some recipes for the Great Griddle Off, which was kind of the reason and the purpose of tonight's episode, or this week's episode, where we talked about some of our favorite meals, and that's what I wanted to talk about, and also give a chance to say thank you. So, Adam is showing...
Speaking of meals, buddy, if you're watching this video, I got it probably... Maybe, let's see, let's measure it. Half an inch slab of bologna. Grilled bologna. And I did some burnt ends with it. And
Chipotle mayo?
Right? Chipotle mayo. Fried jalapenos. And pimento cheese. Buddy, it was so delicious. So flavorful. That this is all water. I got about 100 ounces of my Taylor's water. I got to drink it all. Got to flush the system out. A lot of sodium.
Got to get it right. Well, like I said, thank you guys for listening this week. It's Adam and I, both Doug and Matt are on duty. So it's been a busy week with everybody. But we wanted to come together. And number one is we never miss an episode. But number two is we also wanted it to kind of be a special episode this week. It's not really a special one because it's not a special guest. But it's special for Adam and I, because we're going to be talking about some of the special collabs that we have been doing and that we are going to be doing with the Burn Box. So speaking of that, let's get into our sponsors right out the gate. Special nod to Unki's. We'll be talking a lot about that during this episode. And the Burn Box. I got my notification, speaking of, for FD Collectors Club in the mail, and I'm excited about that. Nice. Did you get yours?
Yes, I got my notification. I'm looking forward to it because I got this awesome board behind me, American flag, from my buddy Turbo. Turbo made this one, bud.
Turbo's Sawdust. Find him on Facebook. He does a lot of stuff for Taylor's Tins, too. Mm-hmm. So if you see the plaques that Taylor's Tins makes, he does those. He's retired forestry operator here in North Carolina, but does a lot of that stuff. He has some sweet stuff. So, yeah, and you posted a full picture. So if you want to see what Turbo's stuff looks like, go check out unkiseasoning.com.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It always rises to the top.
I love it. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that. FD Collectors Club, we got the notifications, but Burn Box was sweet this month. I love that black shirt with the nozzle. Flow around and find out, I think is what it said. Mm-hmm. Love that. But going back to the challenge coins, I had to have my father-in-law make me another holder. I think he's on number 4 for me of making them. So I've got a ton of coins, and he's coming in clutch. So thank you, Mr. Rick, for that. Moment of silence. Man, PA got hit hard with that explosion this week. Luckily, no firefighters were killed as a result of the secondary explosions or anything. But that was wild what they experienced up there at that steel plant. I don't know of any other line of duties, but there again, I'm still sorting through emails from this week, so I haven't seen anything. How about you? Have you seen anything, Adam?
Not really. I kind of don't really watch the news a lot.
Okay. So if you know of someone that unfortunately passed this week, or if you have someone that this was the week that they did pass line of duty, drop it in the comments. And we would love to acknowledge them. Or if you have someone coming in the future, that's one of the call to actions for this week. If you have someone, we would love to dedicate it in their honor moving forward, especially if we can recognize it. I think that would be perfect. So let's do our moment of silence.
Well said.
Amen. Well said. You beat me to it.
Well, you know,
You're on it this
I gotta
week.
be able to talk once in a while on a podcast. It's fun now.
We actually talked about that in Safer, that I need to be better. Actually, I said it, and then nobody did not agree with me. So there's that. But, and all my people down here would know exactly what I'm talking about. So this week, we're going to talk about recipes and the collabs. So you've heard for a little over a year now, folks talk about my recipes being in the burn box. And I just wanted to pause and genuinely say thank you to Tom and John. Tom, the owner of the burn box, and John, his right-hand man, who helps him put all that stuff together in the burn box, for allowing me to be in that. The amount of exposure that I've had and the folks who have reached out to me in the firehouses and said that they've cooked their stuff has been absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate that opportunity. And tonight we're going to talk about some of my favorite recipes that were in last year's over the last year, that not only I enjoy, but the Firehouse has enjoyed, and my family enjoys. And then Unki, if you want to kind of let the cat out of the bag, if you can do that, of kind of what's to come.
Well, I kind of hit it with a hammer, so I don't know if it's going to come out of the bag or not. It looks like blood.
Nice.
It's still moving. It's still moving. Oh, you talk about what we're talking about. Yes, I will be taking over for 1 year as the recipe guy for the burn box. So
sweet.
Passing the torch, it'll be mine for a year.
I love it.
And I already got some recipes squared off, ready to go. And there's some of my favorite ones. That's one thing I like to do. Is it's going to be like more of a greatest hits. Maybe not the ones I necessarily have put online or put on my website, but these are the ones I have repeatedly done because they're great for the firehouse, great for home. So kind of almost quick and easy, I like to do.
Yeah. You know, we talk about on the show about how this is the virtual firehouse kitchen table and how we solve problems. That was one of the things that we discussed here recently about how this stuff, the things that we do, a lot of things can be solved around that kitchen table. And what I love when Tom approached us about doing these recipes is he wanted a way to make it easy to bring all the firefighters around to the table. So don't, make it simple, a firefighter to a firefighter, and give them a recipe that was tried and true that folks would love. And, I don't know if it's luck, if it's a God wink or what, but, I've not had one person reach out that said this was a terrible recipe. I did have one cook on YouTube. I think I've told y'all about it. That was a fail on a steak. But other than that, when it comes to these cooks, and look, we get a lot of flack on a lot of things that we post, but luckily enough, I haven't got a lot of flack on these things. So here's what I want to do. I want to kind of go back and forth with some of the different recipes that our families have come to love and enjoy. And we'll kind of go from there. I want to do a top 3 that our family enjoys. And this one, my first one, was not a recipe that was highlighted in the burn box because it was too simple, if that makes sense. So folks know that I'm part of the Blackstone Griddle crew. And if you're going to do one thing right, but it's the easiest thing, it's got to be smash burgers. And my family absolutely loved the smash burgers. So when I sat them down and I said, hey, I want a top 3 of items, smash burgers, all 3 of them said, Dad, that was the one thing that we love that you cooked the best. So here's my question to you, Adam. Are you a smash burger guy, or do you like a thick patty? What's the way that you like it?
There's a local restaurant, West Side, that does smash burgers, and they do a fantastic job. I don't do smash burgers myself. I do have a Blackstone griddle, but my son tends to cook on it the most. But when I do burgers, I just kind of do regular burgers, and I put them on the smoker. So that's my style. I love
smoke. So
so I have to do kind of a thick one so you can take in the smoke, because it's going to be a long cook with a smoked patty.
Did you see the recipe that I just posted called the Smoke and Jack Stack? I know you love the heat.
I think I might have seen it. I have horrible short-term memory.
It's a short-term memory loss. So it was a smoked cheeseburger. I did Colby Jack, but then I sauteed jalapeno and onions and with an SPG on top of it. And then I topped it with barbecue sauce. And it was called the Smoke and Jack Stack. Of course, I toasted the buns. But that one was really, really good. But no, you're right. And so for those who don't know, this is the great debate. How thin should the patties be on a smash burger? Because a lot of people will just grill their hamburger on a flat top. That's not a true smash burger. So a smash burger historically is a burger that's cooked extra thin. You know, you will make it, you'll basically get a small ball, and every piece has cheese on it, and it has those crispy edges. So you're cooking it at a high temp to kind of get those crispy edges. That's the difference. So like to Adam's point, you want to cook a smoke burger, low, slow, thick patty, get the true injection of it. It's not your medium either. So you've got 3 different types. You got the smash burger, you got the smoke that's done well, but you had to infuse with all the flavor, and then you've got that regular grilled burger that you can get that's kind of that medium, all the way to well done or even rare. So you got all these different types, but theirs was smash burger, and I'm like you. I love a good smoked cheeseburger. Mission Barbecue. I don't know if you have one of those close by you. I think you said you do. Yeah. They have a great smoked cheeseburger. So how about y'all? What's your number 1 in the house?
Number 1 in my house. Let's see. My family tends to request me to cook a brisket, be it from the small little cut or the full packer, everything. Mm-hmm. So when my family gets together, my parents and my brother's family, they always want brisket. And anytime family comes over, I mean, for the holidays, birthdays, or anything, they expect me to do an Unki's meal or something on the side. And this year, my wife's like, no, for your birthday, or I forgot whose birthday it was or event. She's like, you're not cooking at all. I got it taken care of. We're just going to order it. But the brisket is requested a lot. And they like my chicken thighs too. My oven baked chicken thighs, nice and crispy. And it fall apart.
What's your topping for your brisket? It seems like, I don't want to speak for it, so I don't want to talk. But what's your topping? How do you season
the seasoning? Elizabeth salt.
That's it.
Yeah, I cover it with Elizabeth salt. But for me, the key is the inside. The inside, I inject it with a beef broth and butter, and sometimes Worcestershire sauce, maybe a dash or 2. That goes a long way. And I injected it with that to help the inside keep.
Do you like the Baron Burton's W sauce over regular Worcestershire sauce?
Did you try the W sauce? No.
Yeah, the W sauce.
No, man. We're Lee and Perham's, man. House.
Oh, really?
That's it.
So I like the Lee and Perham's as well, but there's something about that W sauce. So when I did a beef tenderloin, there was something about that W sauce as a binder that I really, really like. It's a thicker W sauce. And I don't know that it's a true Worcestershire sauce, but it is really good. So I want to go back to the brisket here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So So for the Elizabeth salt, remind folks what the general ingredients are, because when they hear Elizabeth salt, they're probably thinking like me. They immediately go to like chicken or something like that. So why Elizabeth salt on beef?
It's actually a fantastic all-purpose seasoning, and I tend to use Elizabeth salt for any like mass cooking, because you got people that think pepper is too spicy. Those kind of people that don't like a lot of heat. So I'll do Elizabeth salt a lot of times because it's fantastic on pork and beef. One of my seasonings that's fantastic on it is the chipotle, but it has a little bit of a kick, not as hot as Texas Pete to it. So when you're cooking for the masses, I tend to
you and I have talked about it. So many people are intimidated by chipotle.
The word chipotle.
Yeah. And even then, that was part of the reason why you renamed it from beef rub to chipotle, because people thought it was only for the beef rub. But it does have a great kick. I love chipotle, like you said, on any cut of. I love it on a chuck roast. I'll smoke a chuck roast, and I'll put that chipotle on it. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I won't season. Let's say if I smoke the chuck roast and then I put it in my beef broth with my potatoes and stuff, I may season it up just a little bit with some just salt, pepper, garlic, some SPG. But then any other type of seasoning I'll leave off, because the heat from the chipotle and the chuck roast usually balances out and kind of gives me that other flavor. So what I'm saying is that if you're looking for the poor man's brisket, snag some chipotle, smoke that chuck roast, let the drippings go down into your pan over top of it with some, carrots, onions, some celery, and then some beef broth over the smoker. I mean, we're coming into the fall season. Man, how good would that be at the Firehouse? Put that in on a Saturday afternoon with football. Eat that over a bed of rice. Oh, my gosh. That would be so good.
What has been your most epic fail for a cook? Like, just horrible. You're like, I'm sorry, let's get pizza.
Oh, man. So it really wasn't a fail, but it was the first time I did it, and I didn't try it before. So it was a family cook. And it was only failure because I thought it was, and I smoked a turkey. It was the first time I had actually smoked a turkey. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't, it was learning the probes. It was learning all this other stuff. And it was a big bird. And of course, is it pink because of the smoke? Is it pink because it's raw? What's happening here? And so I learned a lot from that cook, and I learned that before I ever do anything like that again, I'm going to watch about 57 of my most influential people for videos, so that way I can kind of gauge myself a little bit better. And I invested also in an instant read thermometer, a really good one, because I got really worried. But I'd say that was probably my biggest fail. That, and I did do a brisket, and I didn't allow it enough time to rest. Yeah. So that was probably number one and number two, and they were kind of tit for tat, right? And I saw something recently, and I'd love to know, since you said brisket, what's your thought on it? They said on this video that I watched,
they say only hear what I want to.
Who was that? Who sang that? Who sang that?
Don't know.
Lies. You do know. Really it's on your playlist. It's on your playlist.
It probably is.
That's why you knew it.
Well, I don't get that far on my playlist by the time I get to work.
It's right along with Ronnie's Katy Perry.
All of Miley Cyrus's songs from beginning and the end of her career.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
But Ronnie's playlist.
I said it's right along with Ronnie's Katy Perry on his playlist. But anyways,
is it the Katy Perry?
I love you, Ronnie. But anyways, brisket. Going back to that brisket.
What did you need to know?
What I want to know is, what's your rest time? Because I saw something that says you should be prepared to let it rest equally as long as you cooked it. And I thought part of the problem for the dryness and the texture was also in the cut. So they said it is in the cut and how you cut it, right? So you got to learn how to cut it, and then also for the rest. So what do you think?
There's the fatty part and there's the lean part. Mm-hmm. For the rest,
help me out here. Keep going. What do you think? What do you think about
the rest time when it's ready? I shoot for a temperature. So, and all my cooks have been different with the brisket. It just depends on what's going on for the day. If the clock is working with me, perfect timing. I have a pellet smoker, so I can sleep because I don't drink, so I don't stay up all night. And how many beers in is your brisket? I'm not that guy, so I'll start at like 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's running about 165. So when it's 165, I bring it inside, put a little bit of butter down, some more seasonings, and I wrap it up. Wrap it up nice and tight. Then I put it back on and I cook it to about 203 degrees.
Can I pause and ask you a question? Are you butcher paper or aluminum foil?
Aluminum foil, because I just don't keep butcher paper in the house, man. So
okay,
and it does kind of help. What I like it keeps the juices in there. What's left of it and all that butter. So when it goes back into cook from 165 degrees to 203, it's all wrapped in nice and tight because I like to use those juices after I cut my brisket and pour it right back over top of it, help keep it moist.
So there was a big debate about whether or not aluminum foil causes it to steam versus the butcher paper, which allows it to evaporate, yet the butcher paper has enough wax to be able to hold up the moisture. And I've not done it either way. I've done it with the butcher paper twice, and I feel like it's, I don't want to say drier, but I also feel like the moisture hasn't had a chance to go back, to be pulled back into the meat. And that's what I was watching the video of, where it says by giving it as much time as possible to rest, right? Like, don't be in a rush to cut this thing.
Yes.
Give yourself way more time than what you need.
And a lot of people are, by no means am I a competition guy, but it's going to be warm and delicious. You're going to be talking about my brisket in a positive way, and when you come over and eat it. So,
dude, I love it.
I tend to cook closer to temperatures. Some people cook to feel and around that temperature, but I just kind of spitball it. 165, I wrap. 203, I pull it off, and then I let it rest. And depending on what's going on during the day, if it comes off the grill at 10 o'clock and everybody's eating at 1 o'clock, well, guess what? It's going to rest until 1 o'clock. But if we're having dinner and it comes off at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to eat it. I'm going to pull about 5 o'clock. But if I do not have any restraints on time, I let it cool down to 145 degrees. I read somewhere, or here's, a group of mini groups for brisket cookers, 145 is a good temperature to start cutting it. And that's what I just kind of roll with, and it's worked out for me. It might be different for other people, but I always like to try to keep the so-called hard recipes like brisket very simple, very easy. People get very intimidated by it, and you shouldn't. It's really easy, and you can even do it in your oven with these temperatures. You don't have to have a smoker. So I just want everybody to be able to enjoy that cut of meat. It's very delicious.
So let's go back. We talked about the seasoning, and I promise you we're going to get through the other two faster than this one. But brisket is kind of one of those complex things, and then you'll answer this question. Then I'm going to go to my number 2, which is kind of the segue that was for you, Doug. Do you trim the fat cap, and if so, how much for your brisket?
I leave a little bit on there. Some people just cut it almost all off. But I'll leave maybe no more than a quarter of an inch, because I treat it like salt, man. You can't put that fat back on. So when it renders down and everything cooks, when you get that if you get a big fat piece on your cut when you're trying to eat dinner, guess what? You can literally just push it off with a spoon. It'll come off.
Yeah. It just.
But if your person
right
loves a lot of the fat, it's there for you. If you don't, guess what? It literally, you just push it right off of it. So I leave about a quarter inch, less than a quarter of an inch. It's a lot. Quarter inch is a lot. But I leave a nice, good layer thin but
And you're smoking fat side up, so that way the grease renders down, right?
Yeah, I tend to do that. Yeah, but it's that's also one of the things, like, which one's better? You got some of the half group says fat up, other half says fat down.
Yeah, I think it goes
turns
back
into a personal preference, or the way you taught and that you're comfortable with. I taught fat side up, and that's what I'm comfortable with. But I think in the real world, it really kind of doesn't matter.
So that is the perfect transition into my number 2, which around here, Eastern North Carolina, barbecue is a big thing. So I love cooking a pork butt. Pork butt is the most forgiving cut of meat, where Adam talked about just now a brisket and how expensive it can be, and the reason why you want to try to get all of it right, because it's a very expensive cut of meat, as opposed to a pork butt, which you can get for about 99 cents a pound. So you get a 9-pound pork butt for a little over $10 and eat off of it for a big group of people, and probably still have leftovers for pork nachos. You can freeze it. You can do a lot with it. And that's what I wanted to talk about for my number 2. So
I find it easier to mess up a pork butt than it is a brisket.
What? See, I love a pork butt.
I think the only thing would make it it's not really more difficult. I say you can mess it up easier.
I'd love to know how.
You don't cook it long enough, or it doesn't break down and get tender enough. Where it gets tough.
So let me tell you how and why.
And you're doing chopped barbecue instead of like the pulled barbecue, because it's
I do
tough.
Pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pulled pork kind of guy. So when I kind of to reverse the conversation with brisket, I will trim the majority of the fat cap all the way around. And the reason for that, because if you look at a pork butt, the way the fat goes through it is it renders throughout. And I watched very early on, I would watch some of these competition guys, and I loved it because the way that this guy explained it to me, and I think brisket is different. I didn't watch him trim a brisket. I wish I could remember this guy's name, but he was very, very good at the way he explained it. He said, but when you go to season your whatever meat it is you have, he said, just consider the fact that seasoning and that smoke will not render through the fat. So if you want a strong smoke flavor, or you want a strong seasoning profile, it's not going to come through that fat. So every piece of meat, you need to look at it specifically and not just broad brush, put it on there. And so the same thing with binders. So, you hear people talk about, they coat it in oil or they coat it in mayo.
Yeah.
He was a mustard-based kind of guy. And the why of that was because of the olive oil that's in both mayo and obviously olive oil, right, as a binder. And he said what happens is when you put that on that smoker, that temp that olive oil has, is it will cause a crust, which is great, but then now that smoke can't infuse itself. So he said, why are you cooking it on a grill? You get your bark and you should immediately take it inside and finish cooking it in the oven, which is fine. But if you're going for a strong smoke barbecue flavor profile, you want to use your mustard base. You want to use your seasoning blend, because if not, what's going to end up happening is your smoke ring is going to be very, very small, right? That's that pink layer for those that are listening and maybe have never done it before. But your pink ring is going to be very, very short, because even at 225, it doesn't take too long for that layer of mayo. And he was also a thin coat guy for his binder. He said, all you're trying to do is just get it to stick. You're not looking for some big, heavy, thick coat on it.
And I'm not looking for a big ring, because that's presentation. Now, if you're competition, that's beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get it in my house. It's gonna be warm and delicious.
So, what my family loves, and this is kind of where I was going to go, is this is where they were split, right? So there are people in my house, when I smoke a pork butt, I'll put a regular pork butt seasoning blend on it. I've got a couple ones that I use. They're all just a standard, generic seasoning blend. of these pork products. Here in Eastern North Carolina, there's a million of them that have different types of pork rubs. And then what I'll do is I will pull it aside. Some in my family love the vinegar base. My wife actually loves more of a traditional barbecue. So she'll want me to toss some of her pork in that traditional barbecue, and then she'll put it on a bun. And then some just want it just plain. They just like the flavor profile of just that moist pork barbecue meat with just the flavor of the smoke and the rub. So I literally will put out a pork butt and have it 3 different ways at my house just because of how people like it. And that's the versatility of that one cut of meat. So for those who are listening and they're wondering, hey, what to do, fall football, hey, we're having a fantasy draft party here at my house, and I'm doing the pork butt because it's just that versatile. People can put it on a bun. They can eat it on a plate. We can make nachos out of it real quick, whatever. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. What's your number 2? Or if you want to talk more about pork butts, we can.
Well, I was just letting everybody know. It's like, like pork butt. You don't have to make it another way that I cook it. And a lot of people cook it. It's in a slow cooker. I do the vinegar base, like the Northeast North Carolina style. Do it right in the slow cooker. It's simple. It's easy. You can set it before you go to bed or wait right before you go to work in the morning. And it takes about 8 to 10 hours. You can find the recipe, all over the internet, and it comes out fantastic. How big? I think I got like an 8-quart one. Slow cooker.
And how big of a pork butt can you put in that 8-quart?
I don't know. I make it work. If I have to cut it, I cut it.
Okay.
I just shove it in there. I make it work, bud. Because it's going to be at the end of the day.
It's going to be shredded up, right?
It's going to be warm and delicious.
My sister Laura, she doesn't listen, but she lives in Pennsylvania and she loves pork barbecue. She does hers in the crock pot. That's how she does hers.
Yeah.
She loves it. And I'm just going to be straight up with you. I'm going to do mine on the grill. I'm not going to do it in it. But oh gosh, what's the name of the
everybody wants that
pork
bark.
tacos?
Yeah, I want some crunchy stuff with my fall of the bone pork. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't want nothing hard.
So I will take those pieces out and I will chop those particular pieces up very fine.
So what's the point of getting the bark then if you're going to chop it up really fine?
Well, because people like that. So my wife likes that. She likes that bite, that crunch. And I will also sometimes, depending on my bark, I'm like you with the brisket. I may wrap it at 165 depending on the bark, or sometimes I just let it gnaw and I let it keep going. I don't want it so thick that, like you said, it would almost break your teeth trying to get through it. Nobody wants it quite like that. That's not good. So, but that's one of those things that people love it, and anybody can get it. That particular cut of meat. What you can't use is like a pork loin for something like that. So when people are listening, if you're the rookie here, don't think you can go buy a pork loin, put it in the crock pot, and then try to do, that cut, because it's just it will become soft, but it will become stringy, and it won't be what you think it would be. It's not the same cut of meat, and it's not designed to be that way. So, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is breakfast. I love breakfast food. I love breakfast. I love going out to certain places to have breakfast. I love making one giant cast iron at the Firehouse for breakfast, like a casserole. Quiches at home, which is awesome, which is breakfast pie. Come on, who doesn't want pie for breakfast?
Yeah,
that's what quiche is.
What do you put in them for those? Because I love those too, like skillets.
Well, the skillets, of course, ground sausage, not link sausage, smoked sausage like Hillshire, the ropes, mushrooms. We'll put it in there. Bacon, of course.
Potatoes.
The potatoes, actually, no. We'll do that on the side.
What?
And my Firehouse, we like tater tots. We love tater tots, man. So we do tater tots on the side.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I love taking potatoes, peppers, and onions, sauteing them, and then pouring everything in and then baking it. Go ahead.
I like my potatoes crunchy. I don't like them soft. So, yeah, it's really in quiche at home. My wife loves the quiche. She likes broccoli in it, broccoli and ham.
I'm down with that. I can definitely do that. So at the Firehouse, what's the go-to Sunday morning breakfast? Do y'all do it on Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings? What's the
It's
tradition?
the weekend.
Do you have one?
It's either Saturday and or Sunday. You know, you go to any of the firehouses in my department on Saturday and Sunday. We're having breakfast. Typical. You're gonna have your bread. You're gonna have a bread. You're gonna have an egg, a potato, or 1 or 2 pork products with it. So, but mostly it's biscuit and gravy, eggs, and bacon. That's going to be your bare minimum. At every firehouse in my region, that's what's going to have there, bare minimum.
So this would be a perfect time as we kind of try to finish up this episode. We probably went longer than what I thought we were going to in my mind.
Yeah,
but that's okay. We got one more to go.
Right, I was going to tell you. You want to hear about my fails or my favorite cooks?
Yeah. We're going to do that. We're going to do that, and then we're going to go with our third too. But I want to do this before I forget because I meant to start out with this, and I had a note. I saw you looking at your notepad, and I had a notepad, and I totally haven't been reading from it. But for those who want to know and want to share their famous Firehouse cooks, there's a Facebook group called What's for Dinner at the Firehouse Tonight. A very good friend of mine, Ed, runs that. Ed Duffield out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, runs that Facebook group. It's actually famous all around the world. There's departments from everywhere. So go and join it. What's for Dinner at the Firehouse Tonight? And so whether you're a paid department or volley department, he doesn't care. He just wants you to know, what are you cooking at the firehouse? So go. Take a picture of whatever it is that you're cooking and then share the picture. So what is your fails, Adam?
My biggest fail, like I said, the one we actually had to have a backup meal was ham loaf. We've heard about it. It's big in the Midwest, more like Amish, Pennsylvania, kind of, Ohio. And we found a recipe. Read all the reviews. It sounded legit. And I love ham, right? It's delicious. So it doesn't sound bad, right? You know, it's like a meatloaf, but with ham. That's what I thought. And I started researching it. It had milk in it, graham crackers. I can't remember what else it had. And there's only 4 of us in the firehouse, and we're all together making it. And we're just the whole time shaking our heads, going like, "So what's the second meal?" All of us wasn't, but we were dedicated. We wanted to try ham loaf, and I'll never cook that again. That was a huge fail. But
what did it taste like?
I can't remember. It was. Everybody kept like want to compare it to Spam. No way. Spam is just light years better than ham loaf. It was unique. So, but I would go to, if I ever went to Amish country, a buddy like a week later was up there in Amish country. He sent a picture back in the deli counter, and it looked like paste. And it's actually on my Instagram. I just strolled by it. I was like, that looks disgusting, but I would try it. Because to me, that's the proper way to have it. The locals making it. You know,
we need to do a revisit to this episode again of the things that we wouldn't eat based off of looks, but love it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that can be.
Would you eat an alligator? That's one of my favorite cooks.
So I wouldn't smoke an alligator, but I love fried alligator. I'm a fried alligator.
I mean, to me, frying is cheating.
Okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, this is my personal view because, like, I also like frog legs, and I used to get it at a local grocery store, and when they closed down, that chain shut down. Nobody cares frog legs. Now I found a box a couple weeks ago, frozen from Walmart, and I grilled mine. Everyone's like, "Oh, you fry them? Oh, I love them fried." Fried's cheating, man. Why fried foods taste better? Because the oil takes whatever flavor that there is, usually the bread and stuff, and it's an amplifier. But I got a great marinade recipe, and it's perfect for the grill. It's for frog legs. But
it's on the bone.
I cooked with Josh Towers from Hook and Ladder Barbecue here in Suffolk, Virginia, and he invited me out there to cook his gator, and for his catering company, we did it. We went out. It was a great time, man. He ate an eyeball. It was so much fun.
I love how you just put that in there like it's nothing. And then he ate an eyeball.
Yeah.
And
I tried to eat the eyeball, but like it like popped out, so I ended up eating just like the lens. And it's exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like I took a contact lens and put it in my mouth. It was weird. But
how about no?
But it is fantastic. His recipe is delicious.
So ham loaf for the fail, alligator for the win. So what's your third? What's your number 3?
For go-to? Oh.
Yeah, for go-to. That your family loves. And the Firehouse. When I say family, that's what I'm talking about. And for everybody, this is what we're discussing. We're talking Firehouse and blood.
Everybody loves my easy cheesy shrimp sandwiches. They're pretty good.
Tell me about that. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Oh my gosh. It's open face sandwich. It's make a little cream sauce with a bunch of cheese, chop up some shrimp, make it a little bite size for you. You cook it. It's actually on my website, unkiseasoning.com, under recipes. Search shrimp, you'll find it. It is fantastic. It's an open face like sub sandwich. Nice and crunchy.
So do you add condiments to it, or is it just the cheese, the shrimp, and the bread, and that's it?
Oh man, you're gonna make me have to look it up now.
I mean, how do you eat it?
It's a sandwich. It's an open face sandwich. Comes out of the oven and you just let it cool down a little bit.
So no lettuce, no tomato.
No,
like, I mean, we can do deli subs
sandwich.
that are okay. I mean, okay.
Oh my god.
I'm digging it. All right, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 3 for the family again was split with quesadillas. They love my quesadillas on the Blackstone, and I love them too because of just how fast they are. You can do a pizza quesadilla. I can do a shrimp quesadilla. I can do a chicken quesadilla, a steak quesadilla. And the cool part about it, a couple of people know this, my wife can't eat red meat. So literally, if I want to throw down a meal that has some chicken, some steak, and like I said, even some shrimp, I can do that, and we're all eating quesadillas, and I don't have to separate it, and the beauty of the Blackstone, or any griddle for that matter, is I don't have to worry about messing up 10 dishes. So that's the versatility that I love with being able to do it. And I love the fact that it's handheld. You know, like I said, we're I don't want to say an active family, but we love hanging out together. But like, that's a good summertime food. So it's super versatile. Kind of like you said, like with that open face, it's like, hey, pull it out and just eat it, right? You don't have to build it. It's just, it is what it is. And so I think my family really, really loves those. And I love the peppers, the onions. I like taking, bright, colorful things. So I will take red peppers, orange, yellow, red onions, and with those chicken, those steaks, whatever. And it's the pop of the color, right? The cream cheese, the guacamole, the pico that's on there. And it is it's wild looking. So, and I love throwing those things together. All right, I do want to do the real quick, the turnout gear drill here, the turnout drill. What's one thing that when you saw it, you didn't think it would be good, but it was really, really good? So what's one thing?
Say it again.
You got one? He's like, I'm trying to find the recipe on the website. What's one thing that when you first saw it, you didn't think it would be good together, or good, but it is? You got anything? I'm gonna give you mine if you don't have one.
You go first.
Okay, so when we were in Mexico, my wife and I, we ordered room service, and that was the first night we got there. And when we got there, like I said, we were hungry. The room service showed up, and when it did, I ordered a hot dog and French fries. Right, like I was just craving for some reason or another a hot dog, French fry, and a Mexican Coke. It just sounded really, really good. So I get it. And on the plate, they have, with it, they have Cheese Whiz cheese and pico on the hot dog. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. Now, I'm a North Carolina guy. You get mustard, chili, slaw. And if you don't want the slaw, you get mustard, chili, onions. That's how North Carolina hot dogs work. And I know there's different ways to do hot dogs all over the United States. And I've seen them. I've seen them where the buns have these, all different things on them. And, they're poppy seed buns. And sometimes people will put tomatoes. Mm-hmm. A what?
Yeah, you're just trying to describe a Chicago dog.
A Chicago dog, right? And I've seen, and even when I went out to Blackstone, I saw one with cream cheese and jalapenos. Really, really cool. But I had never seen one with Cheese Whiz and Pico. And when I tell y'all that the flavor profile that had, it was unreal. Like, I wasn't like starving. You know how you've ever eat something and you just think it's really good because
you're starving.
It looks really good.
Yep.
And then come to find out, you're like, oh, I was just really hungry because when you had it the second time, it wasn't as good as the first. Like, I came back home and had it again, and it was just as good the second time as it was the first. So, and I know that seems very, very simple and very, very basic, but I would have never thought to take those two things and put them together or those three things and have them, because they toasted the bun. Man, it was really, really good. The number two for that is liver pudding. So many people do not like liver pudding. I grew up with it as a staple in my house. You talked about breakfasts. We couldn't afford regular pork sausage, which pork sausage is super cheap, especially compared to bacon, but it was still super expensive. So the liver pudding was the cheapest alternative, and we grew up eating it. We would have eggs, grits, and liver pudding. And to this day, when me and my brothers and sisters get together, we will get liver pudding and eat it. And it is, I love it. Most people, and I know there's people who have scrapple and liver mush, different things like that, but don't knock it till you try it. It's not like your regular liver because it's ground, and it's the heat that it has is fantastic. I love it.
I pretty much lost my taste for mush.
I know people who eat liver pudding cold on crackers.
I never had it. But the thing is,
what?
I'm always open-minded when it comes to food, because it's certain things, they're things for a reason. There's a reason why it was Cheese Whiz, Pico de Gallo was on that menu, because a good amount of people like that. They're not going to serve nothing that is horrible. Now, I've plenty of times I thought, like, oh, this is going to be delicious, and extremely disappointed. But I've never, was eating something or ordered something and like, it's going to be all right. And so I'm more like, okay, I've been disappointed, not blown away.
So let me ask a question. So you've opened up yourself to this question.
Okay.
Not long after we met, you cooked cow tongue.
Yeah.
Was it what you thought it was going to be, and have you cooked it again?
Have I cooked it? Yes, I have cooked it again. I have.
So it was good.
Yeah, it tastes like pot roast.
No.
It is the same texture, because the way I do it was this one recipe I found.
You can't tell me, for the people listening on the internet, you can't tell me that looking at that cow tongue with all those taste buds that is on that thing,
that peels off, and you throw it out. You discard it. You eat all the meat under the taste bud. Man, I can sit there and make pot roast, or tell you I made pot roast, and feed it to you, and you would never know the difference.
I have no doubts. Have you
ever had pulled beef at a Mexican restaurant?
Birria tacos, like the birria meat.
Yeah. That's
and I'm
tongue.
sure I don't know what I mean. I was going to say, and I don't even know what I mean. I know. And that's what I was going to say. That was like, I got sent ossobuco. If you've never had it, I did beef stew with ossobuco meat. So good. You take the little bit of bone marrow that's in the beef shank, and you let it become part of the roux. So good. It's to me, it's the steps of the cooking and pulling off the taste buds. I mean, just think about that for a second. Like, I'm just going to rip off the taste buds and just shred it.
Yeah, the tongue is gross to you, which is a muscle and it's meat, but you want to eat
liver pudding,
thick blood. No, liver's organ, but you want like the bone marrow, a thick blood.
I know. Thank y'all for listening to this week as we close out.
Oh yeah, start on hot dog. That's everything falls on the ground, which is delicious anyways.
Put some cheese on it and some
I love a
pico.
good hot dog.
Well, hopefully you will have found one of our 12 recipes, East Coast Kelly's, in the burn box. Thank you again to Tom for that. And for the next 12 months, you're going to find some of Adam's. I don't think cow tongue's going to be in the recipes over the next 12 months. But I'm sure there will be some other amazing
But it's going to be
stuff.
back on Unki seasonings. I'm going to pull it out of the freezer. I got one.
He's like, I'm going to bring it back out,
God,
baby.
man. So good.
But I love it. And I love when Adam and I, or Matt and I, we had just a onesie twosie. I love when we can just have conversations like this. They're always good episodes when there's just two of us. I know three is fun too, but these conversations are always fun. So your call to action for this week's episode is drop a comment. What's the favorite in your firehouse? And what's the favorite at your dinner table at home? We'd love to know. What's your go-to meal? Inspire us.
Inspire us. Give us an idea of something to cook, something that you think we haven't done before. I would love to try something. I mean, and don't get all exotic like, the caviar from India and the Himalayan mountains. No, something I can go to Walmart, pick up the items, and make. Challenge us.
Crock-pot Swedish meatballs.
My
wife's crock-pot Swedish meatballs, one of my favorites. Some kind of good. In fact, I even put it was one of my recipes in the box. It was kind of a nod to her. But those are the kind of things that we love sharing. Quick, easy meals, right? Things you can throw together at the firehouse, put it in the crock pot. You're out doing training that day. Love it, right?
Fantastic.
Or whether it's a busy day. And then we'll kick it up, right? Unki will do it his Unki's way, and Brian will do it his East Coast Kelly way. So. Unkify it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for it. Hey, I'm looking forward to fall. I'm looking forward to family. I'm looking forward to football. Looking forward to hanging out with folks.
You're just looking forward to the pumpkin spice
lattes. No,
yeah,
I am looking forward to cooler weather though.
Bee.
I am looking forward to cooler weather though. All right, cool, good deal. Well, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. And be sure to subscribe, like, and engage with our stuff. And if you would, share an episode. If this isn't your favorite, go find your favorite back in the histories and share it with a friend. We'd be honored. And quick nod, thank you to everybody who came up to us at Safer. We made a lot of new friends, and we had an awesome time. We didn't even talk about that. So when we get together, we'll recap Safer as a whole group here real soon. You want to close this out, Unki?
Roll it, Gigi.
Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out the coolfireman.com for more. Thanks!